Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Maya, and in today's video, we are going to be covering 5 things every woman loves about masculine men. Now, yes, masculinity in our society today can be labeled as toxic, but I truly believe within every single man holds the potential to bring forth a level of such a beautiful component to a healthy relationship dynamic. And that is based upon the masculine structure of a man. And I think a lot of men in our society today are either disengaged with what masculinity really is and how to provide that in a relationship, or it's kind of overbearing and associated with this hierarchy of ego. In today's video, I want to be really clear on the attributes within your masculinity that women not only adore within men, but also need within a relationship long term. So let's begin today's video off with number 1, self-assuredness. Now, a man who has an ability to be self-assured within himself, his capabilities, and his discernment over his life, not only will allow a woman to feel very safe within his direction, but also shows a woman that you are confident within your decision making. Leadership to a woman is really important, whether she admits it or not. It's a way for a woman to respect you. And I think a woman really does respect a man who not only has confidence in his own abilities and his life and his decision making, but also has the results to show for it. And this can be as simple as waking up every day and having an investment into what you're going to do within your day. This is just one simple example, but a man who does not allow hesitation to build and procrastination to deplete his energy source, this is going to show a woman that not only you can tackle the harder things in life, and within that difficulty allows a woman to really take a seat back and allow you to lead and guide. But when a woman is not trusting within your ability of confidence that you have over yourself, she will try to guide the ship per se and take on leadership because she does not trust your willingness to do so. And for a man, that's a turnoff. And for a woman, you not having that ability is a turnoff. So for the areas of your life right now that you don't feel super confident in, or maybe you're doubting your self-assuredness within yourself, you can practice this on a day-to-day basis by actually showing up for the things in life that you know you need to show up for. Regardless if it's for yourself or a woman, having something that motivates you can be of help. And maybe it is a woman in your life and you want to show up not only for her, but by you doing that, you're showing up for yourself in a greater degree. Number 2, when it comes to, masculinity, and you guys have heard it before, but it's very attractive, and it is a man's ability to protect. Now, within that protective nature that men have, it's not something that a woman will admire in you and appreciate, but it gives her an ability to look up to you. And I think this is really important for a man. He doesn't want to be looked down or emasculated by a woman. It's not something that's sexy, and it's not a turn on. So for you to really be able to stand your ground within your ability to not only showcase to yourself that you have the ability to protect yourself, and this can come not even just by physical strength. It can come by your decision making and how you take care of yourself in your day-to-day life. Do you go to the gym? Do you lift weights? Do you showcase some stamina in your ability to kind of overcome challenge and discomfort? And women are naturally drawn to a man who exhibit that protective instinct that he has and showcases to her. This can look as simple as when you're walking on the side of the road, you making sure that she's on the side of the road that is not closest to the traffic. Something that a woman is going to notice and highly appreciate and acknowledge within you. And that's that draw between masculinity and femininity. I know a man wants a woman who can nurture and can support him, and a woman wants a man who can lead her and protect her, and to allow that weight of the world to kind of fall off her shoulders when she's around you. And for a man to do that gives him such a great and profound sense of purpose that will be recognized not only by her, but also about how you feel when you're around a woman who appreciates that effort. There's a value exchange change there. And I think that's really important to note. And it's not even just about the physical, you guys. It could be emotionally protecting her from her very own emotional downfalls. Because we both know women have some challenging emotions that we face and we struggle with, especially during times of the month. And for you to be attuned with her emotions and be able to learn how to regulate yourself while dealing with her emotions allows you to show a woman that you are a mountain. You can be a rock. And that's not to say that you should tolerate any disrespect or misbehavior that's belittling or, borderline abusive to you. However, it could be giving her a sense of clarity when it comes to understanding her emotions and kind of being that sounding board that a lot of women really desire within a man, and being able to listen, but also protect the narrative of her very own emotions and what they are trying to tell her. And by listening to her emotions, you will have a greater degree of being able to protect her from her very own thoughts or noise by just allowing her to vent it out to you, and you giving her the correct guidance that will lead her down a path of feeling understood and seen in her very own emotions that cause distress. Number 3 is a man who can showcase depth within his emotional range. What do I mean by this? A man who is okay with his emotions. He doesn't run away from them. He doesn't numb. He doesn't avoid. He is able to confront challenges within himself in order to regain that sense of power and actually fulfillment out of life. Men in our society today are taught and brought up to suppress their emotions. And if you showcase your emotions, especially to a woman, she will lose respect for you and have a greater degree of emasculating you or whatever. And I really want to be clear with you guys that showcasing to a woman that you have emotional depth is going to allow her to have a greater investment into you as a man. A woman doesn't want a brick wall. A woman doesn't want a man who showcases no care towards himself and his own emotional state. And a man who usually runs away from the harder things in his life or has ways to numb or self-soothe in a way that is not tolerable to a woman's best interest as well. And I think it's really important to let a woman know that you have the ability to go into your emotions and not be overruled by them. And this could look like if you're angry and you guys are having conflict and there's anger that comes up, you don't project it onto her. You have the wherewithal to understand what's happening in your body and say, listen, things are getting out of hand. I have to go for a walk. I have to go for a run because I do not want to hurt this relationship. So I'm going to take a pause. I'm going to go and we can talk later. And allowing yourself that space to do that instead of projecting all your emotions out onto a woman that honestly you're going to regret. Because in the heat of the moment when we're in relationships, that's where a lot of our suppressed energies come through, because our partner is a mirror into the very areas of ourself that we are unwilling to face. So our partners usually will bring them out. So your degree to practice this, whether you're single or in a relationship, of confronting what is happening inside of you rather than allowing what's inside of you to dictate and control your behavior. Having that stoicism of understanding what is happening inside of me is there always for a reason and a purpose. What are you going to do with what's happening? You can pick the higher option or the lower option. Whatever you choose is a reflection of where you are at mentally, spiritually, and physically within your strength. So having that emotional range of understanding your emotions and having that self-control over your emotions is going to allow a woman to feel really safe when it comes to interacting with you in the difficult conversations that we find ourselves in. Next on my list is a hardworking man. Now listen, you may say the word hardworking, you may associate it with how much money he has or the success he has, but let's be honest, every single human being wants to have success. Every single human being wants to live in some form of abundance. And I think that's up to you to decide what type of abundance you want in your life. But for a man who can showcase to a woman that you have the ability to do hard work to get to where you want to be, that she will see in you and want to support that behavior, but it also allows her to feel inspired by you. A woman wants to feel inspired by her man. And when that's not there, there's a degree of disengagement in the relationship, and she will find that elsewhere. And I think that's why for you to not be lazy, for you to actually tackle the harder things in life, whether that be your finances, your health, your diet, these are things that women are going to really admire within you long term, because no woman wants to be with a lazy man. And when women find themselves in a relationship with a man who is not taking control over his life, she will naturally want to exhibit the mother role of mothering you into doing something that you know damn right you should be doing. And you don't want a woman telling you what to do. Last but not least, I'm going to end on this. A man who is assertive. Now, a lot of the times we associate masculinity with aggression, and I feel like healthy masculinity can be assertive and dominant in his voice being heard. And this comes across of not being loud and overbearing, but firm in his own belief and his own desires of what he knows best for him and perhaps a woman. This is going to build up the courage to actually speak your voice without being apologetic for it. A man who is apologetic for having a voice and having discernment and having an opposing thought, that is going to showcase as a people-pleasing tendency to put everyone else's needs before yours. So a man who has the ability to become assertive without being overly aggressive, but just being very clear and cutthroat in what he wants and what his needs are, or what he is trying to get across to another person. And this is something I can actually say with experience, you guys, that assertiveness and anger in a man are very different things. Assertiveness, I've learned from actually the man I'm with right now, my boyfriend. He does such a great job of saying his truth and not being apologetic for it. And this happens out in public or when people are being pushy and trying to get our attention. He has a great ability to turn off his awareness towards them and using his energy and his focus on the present moment and where he wants to direct his energy. And this is something I've noticed, and I feel so safe in his presence because he has the ability to do this. He doesn't shy away from, uncomfortable conversations. He shows up for it in a way where he's defending his truth. And this is something that a woman, when she sees, is going to actually do a lot of healing for her. Because a lot of the times when a man gets angry, she gets a feeling of being unsafe because that's what she's experienced with other men or her father figure. So when she can see a man being assertive and clear and cutthroat in his very own opinions and beliefs, it gives her the ability to trust him further and actually provide her a sense of safety in his own leadership and his own sense of direction. So I wanted to end on that because being assertive is not a bad thing. It's an admirable thing in today's society when you can kind of hone in on what you are wanting, your desires, your intention behind what you say. And if your intention is coming from the highest good of yourself, it is going to be of the highest good for another person. So please take in mind everything I said here in today's video and apply what seems right to you. But I did want to make this video because I want to congratulate you guys on showing up in your masculine power, because masculinity is powerful just as much as femininity, and we need both in our society today more than ever. So if you guys like today's video, give it a like, hit the subscribe button, and I will see you in my next video. Bye.